He got a parking ticket once. He paid it immediately. He got 10 hours of sleep last night. Every 6 months, he changes the batteries in his remote control, just in case. He cannot decide on his favorite number. There are just too many. He hates the English. Last November, he watched the documentary Cardboard from Around the World. He is the least interesting man in the world. I don't always watch TV, but when I do, I prefer the box score. It starts now, my friends.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles at the BS News Desk, joined by the Danettes in a booth by a bar. Guys, you had Ross Tucker, new guest in today for Dan. Seton, what were some of the things that he did differently from Paul Burmeister?
One of the things that he did differently was play for the Patriots, which I don't believe Paul Burmeister ever did. And that was about as perfect coincidence as you could have today. That was spot on.
It was one of those things. I know Ross pretty well. I've dealt with him a few times here and there, but never produced with him as a host. And when I woke up and saw the news this morning that the Patriots, the story had jumped to another level. And then I did not know he played for the Patriots, so I got in today and I was checking his reference because I couldn't remember what college he went to. I was like, wait a second. And I asked him, I go, you played for the Patriots? He goes, yeah, I played a couple games. Not that many snaps. And I was like, oh my God, this couldn't have worked out better. I mean, he literally had been on the BallGate teams. And he literally played with Tom Brady and handled the ball before it went to Tom Brady.
One thing, if you look at Ross Tucker's football card, about 60% of the teams in the league that could have been affected Ross played for, or tried out for, or was cut by.
Right.
So
That's great.
He had a 5-year career. He had a 5-year career with 19 different teams.
Worked out for us.
Yeah. So it was good.
True journeyman. McLovin, which nickname did you like better? Was it the Rossettes or the Tuckettes?
Oh, I didn't like that for 1 second. I didn't want to say anything.
He was enjoying it.
Yeah, Tuckettes, you could have felt the chilliness. Like, I thought I was like, I almost had to get my coat.
I found it to be a little bold when a guest host comes in and they're like, so now you guys are the Jimmy Lipperettes.
That-
And you're like,
Ross had-
no,
that's your
as a
first
matter of
time
fact, I'm not.
Yeah.
We don't like Danettes, so I don't think we're gonna like something else.
And Dan at least has given us a livelihood, pulled us out of the scrap heap, had 18 years.
You didn't
of
even buy
carrying
me a
us
coffee,
here.
dude.
Yeah,
You have to guest host a lot of shows before you consider playing with the Ets name.
Tuckettes? Come on, dude.
Well, no matter the
very weak.
tension in the room, you guys did make him feel right at home when he started talking about his days playing with the Patriots.
When I was playing center, I would act like I was like taping my ankle, and I would spray that pre-tape stuff on my hand.
Patriot cheater.
Did
No,
that,
you
did
know
that
what?
even deserve breaking news? That's just obvious, right? That you were on the Patriots and you were cheating.
When Belichick told you to do that, did he instruct you how to put it on your hand?
Well, in fairness, I never played center for the Patriots.
Was it hard knowing the defensive calls because you had them on videotape before the game?
The reality is, I knew nothing about that.
Of course.
I wasn't in on it. Maybe I wasn't high enough on the totem pole, but I wasn't in on it.
So when you're a backup offensive lineman, do you have to hold the camera? Because you're tall. You're a tall guy. Do you hold the camera to spy on the other teams?
Dude, we are 12 minutes into this thing, and you guys are already killing me.
I want to believe him that he's innocent, but once a Patriot, always a Patriot. And then once he started sharing stories about pretending to be fixing tape on his ankle and he's spraying sticky stuff and he doesn't know anything from the Patriots days of yesteryear. Granted, he was only there for a short period of time. I have my doubts about how forthright he was, even though he was sharing some stories about urinating on himself and things like that. But when it comes to the Patriots and some of the more significant things, you know, that whole see no evil, hear no evil, I don't know.
No, what struck me too is the casualness of what he said. Like, he's like, Yeah, did I ever try and shank a guy in the bottom of a pile? Yeah, of course I did.
Grab someone's throat.
Did I ever use an illegal switchblade in a pile? Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah, you may fold under questioning, Henry. He was. I barely even had to ask him, did you ever cheat? But he's like, yeah, spraying all this latex stuff all over my ankle to get more. Wow,
he also gave us the story, which he gave more inside Patriots information than anyone, any former player ever. The story about the field, where he's like, oh yeah, well he's just like, and he didn't even really hesitate to be like, yeah, we used to practice on the field to make it real crappy, but then we'd get used to this crappy field and know what was bad. And dude, no one ever says that stuff about the Patriots. No one ever lets you in that deep.
Because he wasn't. I think one of the reasons Seton and I were talking about this after the show. He was only a Patriot for a short amount of time, and his livelihood isn't based on his Patriot success. He's kind of, again, a journeyman, and so he's not beholden to the Patriots. If we had on, who's that offensive lineman that went to the Tampa a couple years last year for the Patriots? Mankins.
Yeah.
Say what Mankins on. He's not going to burn the Patriots because he knows he can go back to Boston someday, get a job at WEI.
He's not.
He's enough far removed from it in the short period of time.
Rodney Harrison's as close as you're going to get to a Patriot legend who will be honest about the
jabs
team.
A little bit.
And he's kind of on the half insider, half outsider of the Patriots dynasty.
Well, a lot of scenarios were laid out there as to what would happen to the Patriots should they be found guilty. Tom Curran laid out his main reason why he thought Robert Kraft would show Bill Belichick the door.
If it comes out that under his watch, the team removed air from the ball, and you and I both know Bill knows everything that goes on and should know everything that goes on, then that's going to be a really hard thing for Robert Kraft to swallow and say, geez, Bill, you did it again. I mean, that's it. I mean, you did it again. To me, it's going to be up to the owner and how he views it. But I do really think it would be off the table for a businessman who really, more than anything else, at this point in his career and life, is about reputation and protecting that and protecting his legacy. I mean, he wants to go to the Hall of Fame. Robert Kraft does. Think this helps that candidacy?
Wow, it's funny, just before the lights went on, we were arguing about this very topic. I said to the guys, I'm like, gee, I think Belichick might get fired. And we started arguing over it because Robert Kraft, as has been reported, after Spygate, had to get up in front of every owner in the league and say, I'm sorry I did this. Now, what if he had to do that again,
Well, see, here's why. I have two reasons why I don't think that's going to happen. One, the Patriots' legacy is already tarnished, and Robert Kraft fully knows well of that because it starts with the Tuck rule, and well, it doesn't even end with Spygate, but that's one of the many trips along the line. The Aaron Hernandez case, that wasn't really a walk in the park. That certainly did a lot to damage the brand. But then number two, anyone that you hear who actually played football and say, like Mike Mayock said, hey, was this a big deal? He's just like, no, actually, anybody who actually played football doesn't think this is a big deal. So I think that the owners probably among that same thinking.
And they've been in bed together this long. All of a sudden, you're going to kick somebody out and distance yourself.
I mean, you know what's worse for the brand than deflating 2 pounds per square inch of a thing? Having a crappy team and a losing record for years on end.
But Spygate didn't have a huge impact on play, did it? I mean, they were just filming a guy on the sideline. That's not like why they won the Super Bowl.
Then why did they do it?
As Robert Kraft said.
Remember when they got credited for all those great second half adjustments?
Well, no, Kraft said about the story today, and the current story, Kraft said to Belichick, from 0 to 100, how much did this help? Belichick said 1. Right. And then Kraft said, well, you are
do you believe that?
An S. Well, that's the story. And Kraft said, well, you're a, can I say this word?
No. He said you're like an.
It's a Yiddish word.
Mensch.
It's not mensch. It's the opposite of mensch.
Opposite.
Oh,
it's also a form of jelly.
Oh, like the brand of
jelly?
You're a
jam.
You can't say that word?
All the Yiddish people out there know exactly what these guys are
Can you say that word?
I think you could say it.
He called him a schmuck.
Yeah.
A schmuck.
Schmuck?
That's
what all this talk
is. That what you guys thought it was much more?
Oh, you know, Kraft called Belichick a schmuck.
I'm blushing right now.
Why are you cheating?
Belichick probably said, I don't know what that means. But what are you saying?
Schmucker's jelly.
That's what I would say.
Come on. 1% on a scale of 1 to 10. Give me a
What else is it going to say?
1 to 100.
Or 1 to 100, I mean, yeah. Give me a break.
What do you mean? They're still doing it. They're still looking at Patriots cameramen all over the field spygating stuff.
They
still,
cheat better than that. They cheat better than that.
It doesn't.
McLovin, if Belichick gets caught cheating again, is there a chance that he could be forced out of football?
Oh, I don't think forced out of football. I think he could get suspended. Maybe Peyton, maybe a year, maybe 6 games.
I'll tell you one thing. Yeah. If Bill Belichick got fired from the Patriots, he would have any of 31 NFL jobs the next day, which would be the biggest hypocrite move. We would fire him for cheating, but there would be a line out the door to get the next 5 years of Bill Belichick and he could write his ticket. He could literally say, I'll take $10 million per year.
And he still gets the last laugh. He's got another AFC title and possibly another Super Bowl ring.
Right.
So whenever they decide to give whatever punishment this is, it's going to be, after the Super Bowl anyway, and he'll have another thing to put in his nice glass case and possibly on his finger.
All right, let's take a break. Stick around. It's a late Festivus. The guys take on Ross Tucker in Feats of Strength.
I can tell you this. I did go to the bathroom in my pants every game.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. A lot of games I played center. So, so poor quarterbacks. Not a good deal for the quarterbacks. I would, look, I'm a gentleman and a scholar. I would take towels and try to dab up as much of the urine as I could.
Yeah, but the quarterback is Johnny P. Hands when you're there, right? I mean, he's
pretty much, yeah.
Guest host Ross Tucker did not shy away from sharing stories about his playing days. Fritzy, how many times did you count him going to the potty today?
He made a number of references to it. When he first shared that information, I was wondering, is that 100% number one, or was there something more involved in there? And that's all I can think about, which is not a good vision to have. So he would really crap his pants in the middle of the game. It's bad enough if you're doing number one, but I just got turned back by how much he was divulging. But it turns out it was just a one, which is still something to behold.
If you were playing sports, Fritzy, he said, as an offensive lineman in the third, 8 minutes left in the third quarter.
You don't have a lot of breaks. There's no breaks.
You
can't. You're not going to waste a team timeout. And even then, that's not enough time to do what you got to do.
What do you think you would do in that situation?
I would not play football for a living.
Right.
That's what I would do. There's nothing I'd be able to do, because when I have to go, I can't speak for you guys, but I have to go, and it could be 7:21 left in the third quarter. It could be the final play.
But that being said, we have a show here where our breaks, sometimes we have to go long and go. Or at the Super Bowl specifically.
There have been many times here where I had to take care of business, and all of a sudden I get a note from our producers in LA saying, "How about going into the box?" And I was really looking forward to taking that
You're gonna go
top of the hour break
one.
to do to go into a different box. And I always say yes, and then I end up holding it in and let the chips fall where they may. But there have been many.
Have you ever considered saying no? Can one of the other three guys go?
I did that once or twice when I felt like I had a little zero to say, which happens very often. That I didn't think I was going to really just totally wing it and have nothing to add. But
in lieu of telling them about your IBS issues and saying that this could actually damage it worse, you jump in the box.
Yeah, I would hold it in and hope that somehow
for another hour.
Another hour, or if I could somehow get it in the last couple of minutes between the end of the box and the start of the next segment.
The perfect solution would cost a little bit of money and take some time, but get the plumber in there, just fit that bad boy out in the box.
While giving your box talk.
Just sit there with a magazine.
Unload.
Just dig a hole in the wood of the basketball court under the chair.
I got to tell you, that's my last day. That's my last day. I found it. You know what? Your business is your business.
So does that mean the last show, this is something we could do, or that you're just quitting
If you want to get rid of me, if you guys just call the contractor, call Buckley.
I can't imagine how any of you would
I mean, if we'd have so much space here, there are times when we'd have to combine the box and the restroom.
I'll watch a show and I'll root for you guys. I'll type up some notes. I'll be at home. And
what if
it really shouldn't come to that?
We have a new studio. Fritzy does a whole show from a bathroom stall. Just when he wants to talk, just opens the window.
If there's enough sponsorship dollars, I wouldn't put it past anybody. All of a sudden, there's a little room in the back there. But that would kind of get in the way of the golf simulator and stuff. And you guys don't want to.
Like if the people from Kohler, if you're watching, I think there's an opening here. I mean, you guys make some of the best in the industry. And
something like that.
You're a new spokesman.
Yeah, that's got to be.
There's only one lavatory.
Yeah. Dan just told this story. His first apartment in New York City, the restroom was not separated from the rest of the apartment. And I've seen apartments like this in New York, where it's just like the kitchen's here, the restroom's here, the living room's here. There is nothing worse.
There is a door, though, right? There is a door.
There's nothing. No, it's just flat out in the middle. So it's like, excuse me during a dinner party. Continue your conversation, yeah.
You get like a shower curtain around it.
Yeah, hold up a few napkins. Hope that's not blocking me. Guy, you don't.
There's nothing worse than the toilet in the living room with no partition.
Deal breaker.
All right, we need just to control our bathroom urges. One man who was particularly in control was Ross Tucker when he held his blocking clinic with McLovin.
Down. Set. Hut.
Nice. Good,
Come on, bring it, Tucker. Bring it.
That was pretty good.
Bring it,
Long
Tucker.
arms. There's pretty good extension. That was a bull pull at the end there. So first of all, I'm trying to get your hands down.
How much percentage were you given there?
What's that? Oh, not much.
Could you get to me under 2 seconds? Could you
If I really tried right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Without,
Well, let's find
I
out.
would no.
but make it a finesse move, not a power move.
Okay.
How about could you?
All right, McLovin, you ready?
This is a slick floor, though.
All right.
Down. Set. Hut.
The look on your face said no. Don't go here.
I thought McLovin did really well in the first one when Ross was walking in dress shoes, and then when he kicked it up a notch on the second one and decided, I'm going to put a little bit on. McLovin did the bailout, which is, it's intelligent. It's the right move to
It's
do.
the second time in 2 weeks I bailed out on a lineman because both times something in common. Deal. Remember when Deal was running at us? He something came over his face where I'm just going to go into full athlete mode. I was like, no, thank you. And Ross, some changed. He's like, I'm going to show this guy up. So I just got out of Dodge.
That's why you went to Dartmouth. You're smart.
Know my limitations.
Yeah, you were smart, McLovin. Much smarter than Paulie when he took on Tucker.
McLovin, can you count it? Can I make it to him in 5 seconds?
5
Who's saying said hut?
McLovin.
I could do hut, blue.
You know for real? Wait. Call
Just
it
say
out.
said hut.
Set hut.
Oh, man.
Careful.
I'm not giving them. All right. That was folded.
I'm gonna throw a flag on that. It's holding.
I was inside.
Look, there's your DNA on my shirt.
What is that?
Destroyed.
What is that shirt?
That's your epidermal layer.
That's actually your own
inside.
skin bleeding through.
Paulie, I respect the effort, but you definitely went in the wrong direction the entire time.
I made no forward progress. I literally went backwards as I was trying to go the opposite direction. But I mean, he grabbed me. He first pinched here and it hurt a lot.
Was there any way out of that once he had
No,
to?
there was no way out. He could have. I would still be there.
You were
If he
like
chose
handcuffed
to.
by his
Yeah, we could have
arms.
missed the next segment.
He could have done it as long as he wanted. And that, again, Seton said it the other day. It's like if you took your 5-year-old child and your 5-year-old child tried to rush you, you could literally do whatever you want like this.
Yeah.
He was and this is a guy who is no longer an NFL lineman. He's 50 pounds, 60 pounds less than he was, and he wasn't that great when he was.
At the time, yeah.
What if Larry Allen in his prime was here from the Cowboys?
Yeah.
He would literally take your heads and go bonk.
Well, you know Larry Allen. The question is, could all 4 Danettes get by him in a half hour?
No, he would just nuts.
It's like swinging elbows.
Hopefully you're not bruised, buddy. All right, stay with us. The guys hit the road in a few days. But first, a trip down memory lane.
Nobody knew Paulie was doing this at Indy. And then he goes, I got to show you this. And I said, all right, we'll put it on TV.
I remember Paul just sort of disappeared with the camera crew one day and came back with this epic footage of him racing.
Had to call in a favor from Tony Stewart, the NASCAR driver. Tony called the higher-ups at Indy and said, will you let him take a few laps around the track? It'll be okay. He made the shoot happen, and he gets a producing credit on this one.
Paulie won, which doesn't happen too much in athletic events, so it was a big deal.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Another classic clip from the guys' trips on the road there to the Super Bowl. Paulie, what was the top speed? What was the year, make, and model of that car? Automatic, stick shift, what'd you have?
It was, it was stick. It was I'm guessing a 2012 Camaro. It was adjusted to go faster, but I don't think I went over 125, 130, I'm guessing. The guy said, calm it down because you've never driven here before. But the part about Tony Stewart is true. They were not going to let me drive. And this guy came out there who was the driving instructor. He goes, I'll let you ride with me and shoot it. I go, well, that's not any fun, even though technically you could cover that up on TV.
Yeah.
And I text Tony, I go, hey, dude, I'm in a jam here. And God bless him, he called right back.
Wow.
He goes, put me on with this guy. I know this guy. I've known him for years. And they're talking like, hey, you SOB, you SOB. Yeah. And he goes, and next he goes, yeah, you can drive. So obviously there's no actual rules in place that didn't let me drive. But it was, I honestly didn't ask for permission to do it. The guys who were our camera crew and Carol, our producer, said, what are we going to do today? Because Fritzy was shooting all day.
Was it paperwork, waivers, if God forbid
Nothing
something?
at all.
You didn't have
Not
to fill
one
out
thing.
any?
They gave me the jacket and a helmet. Said go out there, but I didn't ask permission. I thought it'd be fun. They always say try something and
pretty cool.
see what happens. But asking permission is the dumbest thing in the world because if you don't ask permission, nobody can say no.
Always ask for forgiveness. Well, no waivers signed there, but you guys probably should have signed some waivers with Jay Glazer because he gave you guys quite the thumping there in Indy. He issued a beatdown to both Paulie and Seton. Seton, was Glazer's choke harder at Indy, or was it there in the Octagon when you met him out here in California?
That was pretty tough.
That was actually pretty tough because at one point he lifted me up in that position by my neck, and I heard like all kinds of things crack, and I was like, I spent the rest of the day sort of in that motion, which was really unfortunate.
That's weird too. I recognize the shirt you're wearing in that clip too.
Probably the same one as today.
Oh, well, no, it's not actually. I've changed up my wardrobe, but that is the thing that caused me to like start. Like I have to buy 5 new shirts because every time you guys run a clip back, I'm like, oh hey, look, that's one of the same 5 shirts that I wear. Like that could have been yesterday or it could have been 5 years ago. So no, this is a new one though.
Oh, that's a radical departure.
Very beautiful. It's red, it's plaid.
Another sort of red toned flannel.
Nice. Yeah, no tickets from the fashion police. Indy wasn't the only known for that chokeout, though. It was also the place that T. Frizzle was born. And he debuted his Balls Deep. That joint dropped out there. Fritzy, what's in store for the fans this year? Can you give us any clue?
It's going to have a cowboy western flavor. I'm not going to divulge any more than that, but we're going to definitely embrace Arizona, and more than ever, we're going to embrace the ladies who will be hopefully participating in the video, and should be a good time. If it goes according to the way I hope, it will be by far the highlight of my week.
Why no equal time for male cheerleaders? There's a lot of colleges that have male cheerleaders.
Yeah,
and they work hard too.
That's true, but it'll throw off the whole T. Frizzle vibe. You know, I appreciate what you're saying. Just like when the president spoke, and you have the Republican and the Democrat speak and analyze what the president said. But at least if I have anything to do with it, we're going to probably keep it to women with very short shorts on.
Hey.
All right, well, hopefully I'll get on the set for that one. Don't go away. We close out today's show. We can't close out today's show without bringing out the ball counter.
Where's the ball count today? Is anybody really doing that?
Yeah, we've said the word balls on our show over 200 times. And,
really?
Yeah, and it's not an FCC violation, though you'd think the number.
We are back here on the box score. BallGate had you guys talk about balls all day.
Yeah.
Paul, you estimated 200. What do you think the final count was today?
I would guess, in all seriousness, probably 250. I have this guy, I've never revealed this before. I call him my AMS buddy. This guy emails the show. He's just a listener who spends a lot of time at home. His name's Christian. And Christian just emails the show and gives like comments and questions, and he emails me. And at first, when he did this years ago, he was critical, and then we had discussions about stuff on air, and the guy knows his sports radio. And so he goes, I've been keeping count in the last 4 segments. So you guys said the word ball over 100 times in the last 3 segments. So he tried to keep me on track with this, and it's nice to have a little assist there.
Well, thank you to Christian. Well, we analyzed the tape ourselves, and here's what we came up with.
We don't want brand new balls. They just give the balls back to them.
Bring your own balls.
Patriots have their balls. The Colts have their balls. He likes the balls after Gronk spikes them.
Ball apocalypse.
Guys were probably doing stuff with the balls all the time.
You can't say slick balls.
Well, wouldn't the Colts have the same balls? No. Ball Ghazi.
And then those are the same balls that he's using?
Removing balls from play?
Making the balls fit for the game.
12 balls. I'm still concerned about this process where they go over the balls.
These balls are deflated.
That's impressive. It takes a lot of balls to put together a balls to break our balls like that. Putting that together
that was one segment. That was also one segment.
Quite impressive. That's easily a couple of 100 times that was mentioned, and that was I doubt we'll ever come anywhere near that. Today was the day. If we're gonna try to say balls inadvertently or intentionally as much as possible over a 3-hour period, Ross was here to engage us in that. So that was pretty entertaining.
Well, you can't end the show any better than that. Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
We'll have new Jets head coach Todd Bowles with us.
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. See, they're getting more and more clever.
It's not a T for you, Fritzy.
I don't know how I missed that. Al Horford, who plays basketball, Hawks star center, and Reggie Miller,
who has 2.
Who has 2, as far as we know, and has had many great
Lance
years,
Armstrong tomorrow
with his balls.
Less.
I was going to say someone else.
That's a negative.
I knew you were going to say
Took his ball and went home.
So Reggie Miller, Todd Bowles, Al Horford, and we hope to go.
the running back Reggie Ball.
Reggie Ball,
Reggie
nice.
Ball.
Keep them
Monty
counting.
Ball,
All right,
Monty
thank
Ball.
you guys. Balls, 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 balls. We will be back tomorrow here on Audience Channel 239 right here at 3 p.m. Eastern. Also, extra content available at iTunes or at podcast1.com. Balls.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!